I just can't take no pleasure in killing. Just some things you gotta do. Don't mean you have to like.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it gets punctured? So you got any idea how much blood jets out of a guy's neck when his throat's been slit?
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
What is up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with you on the Metal Time Radio podcast with a new episode of the Ghouls of Midnight with my ghoul brother from another ghoul mother, Mr. Tony the Dead. We are doing episode 84 as we continue the Twisted Childhood Universe to TCU, folks. That's right. That's what we're doing here, only on the Ghouls of Midnight.
That's right.
So before we get into our lovely review of this film, which is Bambi, The Reckoning, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer again. Refresh our memory about this. Let's see how it goes.
He's dead, isn't he? What do you want?
I did tell you, didn't I? I did tell you not to come.
So there you go. So Bambi, The Reckoning is a 2025 British independent horror film directed by Dan Allen and written by Rise Warrington. Stars Roxanne McKee, Tom Mulleron, Nicola Wright, Samira Mighty, Alex Cook, and Russell Jeffrey Banks. And like they said in the trailer, it's basically a retelling of the Bambi story through the Poonaverse that is currently going on. And this is the first time actually Mr. Tony and I actually sat together and watched the film together. We just did a little watch party for the hell of it, and sat and watched this. And we kind of laughed about. We should have recorded it for all the clips because we were doing the Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary while we were watching it. But I don't want people to think that this is actually a bad movie. It's actually not that bad.
No. We've seen so many movies, we just poke fun at everything.
Yeah. I mean, look, the whole concept of this whole universe is hilarious. It is. But so yeah, it talks about, of course, a young fawn named Bambi, and I like, again, they do the whole animation at the beginning, kind of like what they did with the Winnie the Pooh stuff, the Blood and Honey stuff. Yeah. And Peter Pan stuff. So like they give you these like nice little animated narrations to tell you what happened with nature and everything here in this case, where toxic waste was spilled in the forest, and the deer got a hold of it, and that's sort of what has transformed Bambi into what it is now. Yep. But the story actually kind of is pretty good in terms of how they thought of that. It wasn't like just, it wasn't, I mean, obviously it gets to the point real fast. We talked about how fast the movie runs, but the story actually turned out to be more interesting than I thought it would be. And I don't know if it's, again, you and I were talking about how we don't remember much from the original animation, so I don't know how close to the animation it actually is. But either way, I thought the story was very clever and at least attempted to give you something interesting to come out of it. So your first initial feelings on watching this film?
Again, didn't watch a trailer for it, went into it blind. And it was fun watching it with you, obviously. I think I still would have probably I don't know. I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if I wasn't watching it with you, but like still at the same time, it wasn't bad. But definitely right into the action. There's a lot you and I already talked about briefly. Like there's gripes we have with the movie. It's not perfect in that, but it's nice. It's cool to see something else from the universe, a newer movie from it. So when's the last one we saw? Was it Peter Pan? Or was it Winnie the Pooh?
I thought is the Popeye one involved? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so.
So probably is a Peter Pan, Never Neverland, but
yeah.
I know we're waiting on the Pinocchio one to come out too as well,
Yeah.
which I think is coming out this year. But
Yeah.
yeah, so again, Bambi, we get this nice opening scene where this mother and her son are getting ready to go visit the dad. Like the mother's divorced or separated, and she's going to take the kid. Even though initially I thought that was the plan, but we find out later the dad didn't want him there. But we'll get to that in a few. We'll try to be non-spoilery as we can, just because this is a newer movie. But we're gonna have to talk about some things. It's just unavoidable.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Yeah. So they're in their like Uber and the guy's driving, and then like just out of fucking nowhere, this deer just runs up on him in the road and knocks it over like a rhino, turning this van over on its side. And we kind of get our first look at Bambi and what kind of destruction it's doing. I knew what was going to happen to the drivers trying to like call or something. They're upside down, and Bambi's like stomping on the bottom of the car.
Yeah.
And eventually he's like, oh, thank God, because he thinks he's going to be okay. And he just know it's coming. He slams down, his head just go like a grape.
Yeah. We were both like, look at the road. Look at the road. Like one of those in the like where they're like this constantly. It's like, oh
yeah, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't want to ride with that dude. Fuck that. But yeah, so the special effects are good in this. I did like those. I think one of our complaints was, and I know why they did it, because they're doing CGI creatures because that makes them look fluid, which is good because they do that with Godzilla and stuff like that. So
right.
In order to give you a more realistic appearance, I mean, they probably could have done some practical effects with up close stuff, and maybe they did. I don't remember, but either way, it looks good, but it's dark. So a lot of this is taking place in the dark. You don't get much light, so they hide a lot of things that they don't want you to see with the CGI. But it looks okay. It's not like it's a problem.
Yeah.
We have some cool moments where obviously we see a Thumper and gang, and that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this woman and her child get out of the car. Of course, the driver doesn't make it, but this deer is like chasing them through the fucking forest. And they know they're kind of close to the house they're supposed to be at, so they end up getting there. And then we have this other group of people there that they know. I think one is maybe her brother or something like that. But they get there and we get this. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know she says your uncle, so I don't know if that means it's her. I kind of think it's her husband's family.
Yeah,
because that's why she kind of doesn't give a shit. Like push the gas.
Yeah,
it's your uncle. Right. It's okay.
We do get a very interesting character in Harriet, played by Samira Mighty. Basically our token black chick, and she's basically just really obnoxious. Like her character is just off the wall crazy.
She's such a obnoxious. Like right away we're both like, oh, she's gonna die. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's like between her and the other son from the uncle, I guess.
Yeah, and anybody in there's warning too before you see this. Even though they're animated, they are cruel to these animals.
Mm-hmm.
They like kick at the deer and they kick the rabbit, and it's like it's animated. It's not like it shows a big impact, or it doesn't even show an impact. But it's just like the thoughts there, and it's like,
yeah, it's not as
this person get eaten.
It's not as emotional as like Guardians 3, where that was like a really emotional story.
No, nothing like that.
But you still get some nice, cute moments in here, especially at the end. But so yeah, they get to the house, and of course, we just go through the mill of like, people start dying because this deer was running. But then we have Grandma, and she's like been drawing these pictures of this deer, so she's already been seeing this thing either through flash like visions or something, and so she's already seen Bambi, knowing like kind of like what's going on with this creature. But Once it attacks the house, it just kind of goes through and tries to take people off. And the kill scene for Harriet, she's running around the corner. Reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if he was trying to do like, remember Scream with Drew Barrymore, she's running around the house. It's kind of done in the same manner.
Yeah.
And then if you want to have fun, you can always think of Carmen Electra in that parody for Scary Movie when she's doing it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's just kind of the same thing where it's slowed down and you got the deer running, which again, animation looks good. It's just dark. It's hard, you know, they're covering up a lot of the things they don't want you to see, the flaws in the CGI. But
Right.
so yeah, we got that. But then we kind of to find out that Daddy is around and he's got these group of mercenaries that are going around capturing creatures, like just random badgers, rabbits, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're trying to capture Bambi, of course. Now Bambi is not your typical deer. Like it's not just some harmless little doe. It's got teeth. It's been kind of mutated through this shit they've been dumping in their pond or whatever out there.
Yep.
And very creepy looking.
Basically the size of a moose, really.
Yeah.
Like they're I don't know what's the plural for a moose.
Mooses.
Mooses. The moosins. they're friggin' huge, and that's what it reminded me of. Like, so I'm thinking, like, imagine if like they did this where like a moose drank the water, how big it would get.
Or a bear or something like that.
A bear,
but
yeah.
Here's the other thing too, and we'll talk about this because you and I were like kind of like, wow, that doesn't make sense. Because throughout most of this movie, Bambi is like a badass, like surviving fires and like just destroying shit. Yep. But we find out Daddy's been dumping gas canisters or some shit, like, you know, toxic waste into this pond, and he's just not a very good dude. Like he really doesn't care about his family at all. He's trying to capture these creatures, I think, for like money or something. I don't know, for whatever they're doing, but
and covering up his tracks and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we spend like a good part of the movie where this is the plot that's unraveled, and the son figures out that his dad's a piece of shit, and the mother trying to protect the son and still, like, you know, get through surviving, because some of the mercenaries don't care about killing them to protect their, you know, so they don't go to jail. And of course, Daddy don't care either, so that makes it worse. But there is that scene you brought up where the uncle's son is wandering around and he finds Thumper on this like log, and so Thumper crawls up to him and he's just so pissy at the rabbit. I'm like, the rabbit's not doing anything. Yeah. And then he punches it, kicks it, you know, field goal wise.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but we knew it was going to happen afterward. Right.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden he gets the rest of the family together.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, we saw the whole like bear trap. We knew what was going to happen there.
Yeah. The only thing it's not a spoiler, but it seemed that every one of these movies had like the scalp pulling, and this one didn't have it. We were close. I think
they got a little bit at the end in the car for the dad, but
if it wasn't a good one. Like
well, because again, it was like really dark, so like you can't really see everything. But I think that's what he was trying to be consistent with.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember there was like, because you had this group of mercenaries that were there, and Tony kind of fucked with them because it just popped in my head. But this woman that's helping them looks like Brad Dourif. So I said that, and he started going like, dude, I can't unsee it now.
You can't unsee it. Every facial expression she made was Brad Dourif.
So that was a funny moment in the film as well.
That's true. Like she like over exaggerated every situation. It's like,
well, yeah, and then like the stairs, like, you know, the big eyes and the stairs. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Because every time she did the big eyes, I'm thinking like Alien Resurrection, you know, he's trying to mock the xenomorph, and I'm like, come on, man. Right. He looks just like that.
Oh my God. That was funny though.
Yeah, so I mean the movie is only about 81 minutes, so it's not massively long. Do you want to talk about the end a little bit and just tell people to come back later if they want to finish the review? Because eventually, because we have to mention this just because it was baffling to us why this happened this way. Now, it does set up the future, but
Mm-hmm.
it just, I'm very, very confused also.
We
So,
could,
yeah,
well, we could do it.
if you guys want to come back and stop here and come back later as we talk a little bit about the ending, do that because this will be a bit of a spoiler. But
yeah,
so I pause. Okay, if you're not gone by now, it's your own fault. All right.
that's right.
So yeah, so what ends up happening is the young boy he goes to release a young baby from the cage, a baby doe. And it's all cute and it's getting you all in the fields and shit like that. It's cooing or whatever fuck deers do. And so he takes it and he's running away. Now, of course, mercenaries are like, fuck this little kid, man. He's taking our money back here.
Yeah.
So they're going to go try to hunt him down and get that deer back. And of course, I think they were kind of using that to draw in the bigger one too. That's sort of like the plan.
Yeah.
And of course, the bigger one obviously is the mother or father. I guess Bambi's a female, I would assume, or maybe Bambi's supposed to be the small one that we get. Well, I don't know.
Since we're doing the spoilers, like, what I think is that at the end who Bambi is.
Okay. So the kid has the little doe and, eventually they get this big confrontation where the main merc guy and the dad and the son and the mother, they're all together. And of course, the big doe or the big deer is there to get the Bambi back. Like that's the plan, is to get the young deer back.
Yeah.
So we go through a bunch of shit with the merc and stuff like that. But eventually, this is kind of like almost like a Jurassic Park type thing where they had, I think it was from Lost World, they had the young T-Rex. And it's like, yeah, we're going to give you the baby back and we're going to jet, So that's basically what happens. They the mother gives the young doe Bambi back to the deer. And then all of a sudden, like the dude that should have been dead, the main merc dude comes back with his gun and he starts shooting the shit out of fucking the deer.
Yeah.
And it does take it down, and then we get the death scene. But I'm like, this deer went through a fucking explosion. How's it like dead?
Yeah, like literally tanks, like of what is it? I don't know. Just it blew up. Brad Dorff blew him up, and it's like, well, what? Okay, what happened to Bambi and what happened to Grandma? Because Grandma was there too, all weird, and Bambi was like in her face.
Mm-hmm,
and then the thing blows up, and then it's like, well, there he is, and then he gets shot in the leg, and then shot a few times and taken down and died. It was like, what the fuck?
And that's the funny thing too, is that there was a moment when the deer looked like it was going to eat grandma's head, like we saw that, and so I'm like thinking, well, it didn't because it got distracted.
Yeah,
but when supposedly that the boy or the mom has the little Bambi deer, it didn't bother trying to attack. It could have kicked their asses and took it anyway. It's like, I don't know why it didn't bother, but maybe it just didn't want to hurt Bambi. I don't know. But either way, the deer gets shot and then eventually dies. And I sort of like pass the torch to Bambi, who doesn't do anything horrific. She just kind of like almost howls at the sky, at night sky.
Yeah.
But you kind of get the idea that it's just going to be a continued, continuation from what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, again, not very long movie, but it flows very well. It's got a cool story. Has its flaws for sure.
Yeah.
Both movies that he and I picked this week, I was kind of hoping would fall into my top 10 here because I'm still not quite to 10 yet. But this one, just as the movies go on, it's kind of like you find things that are just too big of flaws to like keep it at a high score. So
yeah,
definitely for this one, I still enjoyed it. I do like it. It's still going to be one of my favorites of the year in terms of what we do on this channel. Like as far as Tony and I keeping score of the movies that we haven't seen that we liked. We're going to talk about at the end of the year.
Yeah,
this will be one of them because so far most of the Twisted Childhood universe has been pretty fun. I've enjoyed a lot of them. There's only a couple that's whatever, but either way.
Yeah.
So your final thoughts on this film, then your rating, your Ghoul rating.
Final thoughts. Yeah, it did. Got right into the action. I felt it was like less time. Like, what did you say it was? It was how long was it?
81 minutes.
81 minutes. I thought it was like an hour. Like, it felt like it was like that short. I was like, okay. Um, I understand that, like, budget wise and whatever, like and the CGI effects, and because they probably couldn't afford that, that's probably why it's so dark. But it's too dark.
Yeah.
I think because there's going to be another Bambi movie. I think it's going to be the same thing like the Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. It was a good movie. It was okay. The ending was good, but part 2 was like 100 times better. So I think that's what's going to happen. They're getting all popular with this one, and then they can really make a fucking Bambi movie,
Now, the
because
thing about this one was too is they did put it in theaters. I mean, it cost $250K to make, but they only made $300K on it. So it's like maybe not. They should have not put it in theaters and kind of just did stream it or something, because
maybe
obviously, people when they see the title of this, they're just like, "What?" Because most people just don't get it unless you're like into horror, like we are. Like, you're just not really gonna understand like what they're trying to do here. And the other problem with this film, unfortunately, is that unlike the Marvel universe and stuff like that, where they have Easter eggs and stuff at the end, like post credit scenes, we don't get that with this. And so, because we researched it, we know it's tied into the universe. It's just that there's nothing there to connect it to anything else, unless we miss something. Like, unless people go in the comments say, but did you see this? Because that sometimes happens. We see in some of the other films, they've got like little things in the background that you don't see. So I don't know if there's anything here that I didn't see, but I guess I was just too involved with watching Bambi kick ass. So
and it's too dark even if it was there. So
right.
I don't know, but I was looking for that too. Like, like Pinocchio had the books from this, little Easter egg thing.
Yeah.
So like, we know that there's other ones coming. We already knew about Bambi and the Pinocchio and that. So I didn't notice any of that, but I think if the CGI had a little bit better shading, and I think it would have been better. I like the story. I really wish that jerk that kicked Thumper, I wish we could have saw them really rip him apart, like chew his arms and legs off and just like let him sit there for a while, and then Bambi comes in or something, or something. I don't know.
But we did forget the funny part with that. So I do have to say this because it was actually pretty good. Is when that same guy is like running away and he trips and falls his face first into the shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I forgot.
I think it was like Bambi shit or something. He just like plop. And then we started making fun because like Bambi gets up on it, or not Bambi, but the deer. And it's almost like the Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, it can't sense him because it smells like ass. So,
so like he actually puts his face back in it.
Yeah.
So gross. Yeah, that was definitely a Predator moment. It's not supposed to be funny, but it's funny. But I don't know. I liked it. It's not one of my favorites of the universe. I think it's probably third out of the 4 that I, because we had Peter Pan, Winnie the Pooh 1 and 2, and then this one. So I think this is probably third out of all of them. But with that, I don't know, probably about like a 7.5. I think the darkness and the CGI could have been better, but I get it. I understand. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next one is, because I think they're gonna really hit the next one out of the ballpark. And that the way this ended too, I don't think that's Bambi. I think Bambi's the deer at the end.
A small one, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, and of course it does have the innocence of Bambi, that young doe. So that's sort of maybe what you're right. Like, because the title says Bambi the Reckoning, maybe it's just they want to set it up to where Bambi's actually going to be our next villain, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because you talked about this too, is that you're starting to buy these and collect them. So it's like, I think eventually if I keep liking most of them to a degree, I probably will do the same, because I love stuff where they do stuff like this with universes and stuff, whether it's Godzilla or Marvel or whatever. So
Yeah.
if I like a lot of the films in this universe, then it's worth it to kind of have that collection, even if there's like a couple I don't care about that much. If the rest of them are good and enjoyable, then it's
Same.
worth getting. Yeah.
Yep. I wish I would have jumped on it earlier with the Winnie the Pooh ones, because I don't have like the Peter Pan, the Bambi ones coming in. It looks like a storybook, and I don't have the storybook version of those. But I would like to have them. It look cool on the wall. It looks, like books. It'd be neat.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually a clever way of putting them out there, is that
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
so I did enjoy this. I thought it was fun. I mean, it has its flaws, obviously, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I'm still, like I said, I am enjoying the universe so far. I'm looking forward to Pinocchio when we do it, or whatever else comes in there as well. But I'm close to you. I got this at 8 out of 10. It's not super fantastic. It's not the best ever. I wish I could say it was one of my favorites of the year, but it does have too many flaws and things that don't really make a lot of sense, but still very fun. And if you're somebody who enjoys what the Pooniverse is doing, then please go ahead and check this out, because you probably will get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
It's a great concept and a lot of fun. So as for our next episode 85, you have selected Night of the Reaper, which is streaming on Shudder right now. A lot of people have been talking about it, a lot of high praise for it. But we'll be on your channel to discuss that soon. I'm not sure when you'll have that up. I'll probably have this up later tonight. But usually Tony's been he's been on his game. He's been getting shit out within a couple of days.
Yeah.
You have to wait a week for that shit anymore.
No, some days it's like the same night. Some days it's 3 days later. I don't know.
But he puts a lot of effort into it, and he makes him look pretty spiffy and cool. So that's why we love Mr. Tony of the Dead, because he's just a cool cat, very cool cat.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, so that's episode 84, folks. Bambi the Reckoning. Now, we watched it through a link, so I don't know if it's streaming anywhere yet or not. Like as far as like Amazon or anything, I don't know. But either way, we recommend it definitely. So check it out, and we'll see you next time on the Metal Terminal Podcast. We are the Ghouls of Midnight. Right. Enjoy the rest of your evening.